everyone. Today I am going to demonstrate how to make breakfast pizza. It's so good, and you don't have to just have it for breakfast. You can have it for brunch, which is kind of breakfast, lunch. You can have it for lunch, you can have it for dinner. It's great. And we're actually going to be making it for our teachers at our 7th grade brunch buffet that we're putting on. I like this recipe because you can do everything ahead of time and then just kind of heat it back up the second day when you're actually, the next morning when you're actually going to serve it. Okay, so let's get started. I've already washed my hands and I'm ready to go. Okay, so if I look at my recipe, I'm gonna look at day 1 first. So day 1 says preheat the oven to 425 degrees. So I've already done that. I already went to my oven and I turned it on to 425. Remember, we always want to preheat it ahead of time, about 15 minutes before we're going to use it, so it's nice and hot in there. Okay, step 2, fry the sausage and drain the grease. Okay, so I look at the top. I need a ½ pound of breakfast sausage. Okay, so here I have breakfast sausage. This is 1 pound. Okay, this is how it comes. And I only need 1 pound. I mean ½ pound. So I only need half of this. So what I'm gonna do is just take a regular sharp knife and I can cut right through this package, halfway through, like that. Okay, so now I have a ½ cup. I'll save this and put it in the refrigerator and use it another time. So I'm gonna push this out. And then I'm going to get a rubber scraper, get off as much as I can. Okay, and I'm gonna throw that package in the garbage. And now I'm gonna turn on my electric stove onto medium. Okay, this is an electric stove, so it does take a little longer to heat up. Okay, so we'll start that cooking. Now I am on step 3. Spray a 9x13 pan and a microwave safe bowl with cooking spray. Okay, so I've got my 9x13 pan. Now this one is glass, but they can be metal, either one is fine. It's called a 9x13 pan because it's 9 inches by 13 inches. And then I also have my microwave safe bowl. So I'm gonna get my cooking spray, and this is so the food doesn't stick. I'm gonna do a light layer in the bowl, in the 9x13 pan, and also in the bowl. Remember, don't hold it real close, be about a can away, and a light layer in the bowl. And now I am on step 4. 4 says roll out and press the crescent roll dough into the 9x13 pan. Okay, so I have canned crescent roll dough. You can buy it like this, or it also comes in the generic version. I usually buy all generic foods, but when I went to the store, they were out, so I had to get this one. And you turn it till you find the spot that says start here. There's like a little red flag there, and then you start peeling the paper. And then we'll throw that away. And then you look for the seam, and there's usually arrows pointing at the seam. This is where the cardboard comes together, and we're gonna push on that seam and it should pop open. Now every time I always blink, it always surprises me, so we'll see. See, there you go. And I'm gonna open this up. Now this dough actually has little perforations in it where you could separate these out and make a bunch of little crescent rolls. But we're gonna keep it together the best that we can. So we're gonna unroll it like that. You can see it's almost the perfect size for a 9x13 pan. This recipe works out so well. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press it into the pan and I'm going to pinch the seams, okay? And kind of push it together, pinch those seams together. Because I don't want these individual rolls to actually come apart. I want them to stay together to be a solid dough. So I'm just gonna pinch them together so they stay together when I bake them, and then when I cut them into pizza slices. Make sure you press it out so it goes all the way to the sides. Okay, so now I am on step 5. Step 5 says bake the plain dough for 11 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk over to my stove, okay? And like I said, I already have it preheated at 425. Put on a hot pad or an oven mitt here. I am going to open the door all the way so it doesn't spring up. I'm going to use 2 hands. And I'm going to put the pan in sideways like this. It just fits better in the oven. Push that back. And then I'm going to shut the door. Now, I'm going to set the timer. And I always want to set the timer for the lowest amount of time. Or for this one, it says, does it say 11 minutes? Somebody in the class, 11? Yes, okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the timer. So I push timer set up to 11. And then I push start. Now, after you set the timer, so important, make sure your oven is still on. To make sure it's still on, you look to make sure the bake light is still lit up. And it is, so I'm good to go. Okay, so now I'm gonna walk back over to my unit, and I can see that my sausage is starting to cook. Starting to brown the sausage. And just kind of break it up as you go. So tomorrow, or the time when you are making this, you might wanna have one student who's gonna be cooking and breaking up the sausage, while the other students get the dough ready and get the toppings ready. But I'm gonna do it all myself here today, which will be fine. Okay, so I've kind of started to break it up. So I'm gonna go ahead while that's cooking and go to step 6. Beat the eggs with milk and a pinch of salt and pepper. So I look to the top. I need 6 eggs. And I will be right back. I'm going to walk over to the refrigerator to get my 6 eggs, which I forgot to get out. Okay. And I'm going to put 6 eggs into my glass bowl. Break up the sausage a little bit. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm actually kind of pre-cooking that dough, which is going to become our pizza crust. Okay, so this is getting there. So I'll finish this up first. What I'm looking for is the sausage is completely browned, that there's no more pink spots. The pink spots are uncooked sausage, and uncooked sausage actually can make you sick. So we want to make sure that we brown it completely, that there's no pink left. And of course, if you were making this at home and you don't like sausage, you could leave it off, or you could put ham on there instead. Or you could put cooked bacon on top. That would be really good. But we're making a sausage breakfast pizza today. Okay, almost there. Okay, once I see that it's completely browned, which I think it is, you see how I'm kind of breaking it up with my pancake turner as I go. Looks good. And oh, there's some there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. And then it says I need to drain the grease. So what I'm gonna do is use my tongs here. It's a great trick. And I'm gonna get some paper towels. And I'm going, since it's an electric stove, this is gonna stay hot for quite a while. So I'm gonna get a hot pad while I'm here to set my pan on. Okay, put that there. And then I'm going to take paper towel in tongs, and I'm just going to absorb some of that grease. Might take a couple paper towels to get it off. This is a really nice, easy way to drain the grease out of a pan instead of pouring it, because it doesn't make a mess and you don't have to worry about getting burned. Take another paper towel, kind of wad it up a little bit, and then put it in your pan with the tongs, because you don't want to burn yourself. Okay, and just try to get most of it up, and that looks pretty good. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to pick up the rest of this sausage so it's out of the way. Okay, so now we're back to the eggs. So the eggs are step 6. Beat the eggs with milk and a pinch of salt and pepper. So I look to the top, I need 6 eggs for this recipe. So remember when we did our egg lab, I showed you how to crack an egg. You're going to hold it with your fingers over the top and like a fastball, and you're going to tap, tap, tap on the counter and then pull it apart. There's 1. 2. 3. Remember, it's always better to crack it on the counter rather than the side of a pan or the side of the bowl, because you'll have less chance of getting pieces of shell into your recipe. Now, if you do happen to get a piece of your shell in the recipe, not a big deal. Just take another bigger piece of shell and scoop out that little piece. So far, so good. I haven't got any in there. We'll see how this last one. Okay, looks good. Now, I've just touched uncooked egg, so I'm going to come over here and I've washed my hands real quick with soap. Because that raw egg, if you eat raw eggs, you can get sick. So I'm going to wash that real good and dry with paper towels. Okay, back to the recipe. So now I need to beat the eggs with milk and a pinch of salt and pepper. So I look at the top, I need 1/3 cup milk. Got my milk here. Milk is a liquid, so of course I'm using a liquid measuring cup. And I'm gonna get 1/3 cup of milk. Get down eye level. Just make sure it's correct. Look for the one that got a little too much. We'll put that back. And perfect. So we'll put that in. And then we need a pinch of salt and pepper. We always put salt and pepper in our eggs for flavor. Even if you're not a big fan of pepper, it's always good to have pepper in your eggs. So open that up. Put some shakes of pepper in there. That's good. And a pinch of salt. There we go. And we are going to whisk that together. Now, if you're making this at home and you don't have a whisk, of course you can use a fork. It might just take you a little bit longer to break up that egg white and that egg yolk, but it'll still work. I'm mixing the egg white and the egg yolk together. The milk acts as an emulsifier. So what it does is it helps that egg yolk and that egg white to come together, to blend better. Just mixing it up till I can see the egg yolk and the egg white are blended. Okay. So now I am on step 7. Microwave the egg mixture 3 minutes, stirring every minute. Okay, I'm going to take my rubber scraper with me and I'm going to walk over to the microwave. I'm going to put it for 1 minute. Now it said microwave for 3.5 minutes, stirring every minute. So what I'm going to do is I am going to set it for a minute, stir, another minute, stir, another minute, stir, and then 30 seconds. So I'll get 3.5 minutes total. Okay. While that's cooking, I'm gonna see I have 2 minutes left on my dough. So that'll be getting done soon here too. I'm gonna get out another hot pad, just so I have that ready. And between each minute, I'm gonna stir the eggs. Now this recipe is a great recipe to make the night before any kind of family gathering, like the night before Christmas, the night before Easter, the night before your family's getting together, because you make it the night before and then you put it in the fridge overnight, and then the next day you only have to cook it for like 5 minutes. So it's great for that. Okay, so now it's been 1 minute. And the outside edge of the egg is starting to cook. So we want to just give that a scramble. Let me get a paper towel to set my rubber scraper on. So that's been 1 minute. So now I'm going to do another 1 minute. So like I was saying, this is a great recipe to make for family gatherings, because say it's Christmas and you want to get up and open your presents. Well, you know, no one wants to be in the kitchen cooking eggs and sausage when everybody's opening their presents. So this is great. You can make it the night before, and then when you wake up, just pop it in the oven for 5 minutes, and then it's done. So I love to make this for family gatherings because you can do everything ahead of time. And that's what we're gonna do for our party, because we're gonna make it the day before that we have our teachers here for our brunch. And then when our teachers are coming the next day, I'll pop it in the oven for the students and we'll take it out and it'll be ready to serve. All right, looks like I have about 11 seconds left on this dough for the crust. So I'm gonna go ahead, put 2 hot pads on, okay? And I'm gonna open the door all the way, make sure, push it down so it doesn't spring up. And I'm gonna take this out. Oh, it's a lovely golden brown color. Okay, and we're gonna set this here for now. Don't wanna put it on top of the counter because it's very hot. And then I just saw that my next minute is done on the microwave, good timing. So I'm gonna take that out, and we can see the edge of the egg is starting to get cooked, but not the middle, so that's why we're blending it so that it all gets a chance to cook. There we go. And we're gonna do another 1 minute. And then we'll have 30 seconds. While that's going the next minute, I'm gonna get this ready to set up over here so that we can put it together. So I'm putting my oven mitts back on. Okay, I'm coming back over here to my demonstration table. I'm going to put the sausage here, because that's cooled down now. And then I can put this hot pan on top of that hot pan. Okay, back over to the microwave. I feel like I'm walking around a lot today. Okay, so we've got, I'm gonna go ahead and push timer off. And we're gonna, this should be our 3rd minute, and then we'll have 30 seconds left. Okay? And what we're doing is we're actually making scrambled eggs. Scrambled eggs in the microwave is an awesome way to make scrambled eggs. They taste so good, so light, and so fluffy. All right, now you can see that the outside is almost cooked, but we need to get that inside cooked. So again, we'll scramble it up. And then we're gonna do the last 30 seconds. And you know what, this is a great way to make scrambled eggs. Even if you're not making breakfast pizza, you can cook like 6 eggs in the microwave, 3.5 minutes, and mixing after every 1 minute, and you've got scrambled eggs. You could take those scrambled eggs, you could put them on a plate, you can put some cheese on top. You can put a little bit of cheese inside it and then maybe do another 30 seconds to melt the cheese. You can put some cheese on top, you can put salsa on top, all kinds of different toppings that you can put on scrambled eggs. I like mushrooms, I like bacon, I like ham. I love eggs. They're so cheap and they are good too. They're so good for you. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this over. It's been 30 seconds, and actually I'm gonna use my hot pad because this bowl is very hot. I'm gonna bring this back to my demonstration table. Okay. And what you can see here is that the outside of the egg is very cooked. It's a little bit moist in the middle, but that's good because when we mix this together, that's all gonna get cooked. And we don't wanna overcook the eggs because they're gonna cook a little bit tomorrow when they're on top of the breakfast pizza. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna use my rubber scraper here, break them up some more. And then I'm gonna go to step 8. Spoon the egg mixture over the crust and add the cheese, sausage, and toppings. Okay, so I'm breaking up the eggs, nice scrambled eggs, and I'm gonna spoon it over, kind of spread it out. Now I've made this several different ways. I've made it with chopped up ham. It was good. I haven't made it with chopped up bacon, but I bet that would be good too. But I've made it several times with the sausage, and my family really likes that. Because the sausage has a little bit of spice to it, and I think it just goes really good with the breakfast pizza to add a little extra flavor. Okay, there we go. Kind of spread it out so it covers the whole pizza. And now I look to the top and I need the cheese. Cheese is 1 cup shredded cheese. Now for the cheese, you can use whatever kind of cheese you like or that you have at home. I'm gonna use a 1 cup dry measuring cup to measure it. And I'm gonna pack that into the measuring cup. And I'm gonna fill it to the top with it packed down to get the right amount. And then I'm gonna spread that over the top. Now you could use Chihuahua cheese, you could use mozzarella cheese, any kind of cheese would be good. I've got cheddar here. Okay, and add the sausage and the other toppings. Use my rubber scraper again to add the sausage. Again, just kind of spread it out. For toppings, you really can put on any toppings that really go on pizza. Mushrooms would be delicious on this because mushrooms go in an omelet very well. Spinach would go well on this because spinach actually is a good topping for eggs. Salsa would be good. I already have a few toppings cut up that I'm gonna add to it. And one thing I like to do is just add the toppings, not that one. I like to add onion and green pepper. So I'm gonna add just the toppings on half and leave half plain in case there's some people in my family who don't want the extra vegetable toppings. There we go. Here's some green pepper. And here's some onion chopped up. We'll add that on top. There we go, that'll be good. Okay, now I'm on step 9. Step 9 says cover and refrigerate overnight or go to step 10. So what you're gonna do is you're going to let this cool a little bit, then put the cover on. I'm not gonna put it on yet because I want it to cool a little bit more. I'll let it cool, I'll put the cover on, and then I'll put it in the fridge overnight. The next day, I can put my oven back on 425 and cook it for about 5 to 9 minutes until the cheese is melted and everything is nice and warmed, okay? I could, if I just wanted to eat this right now, pop it back in the oven for 5 minutes and it would be done. Or, like I said, I can cover it and then wait till tomorrow and pop it in the oven for about 9 minutes. All right, well, I hope this is a recipe that you enjoy and that you try making it home and your family likes it as much as we do. Thanks for watching.